What's up, everyone? I want to jump on today and talk to you guys about a text conversation I had yesterday. And basically, talking about how your ego can keep you from growing and developing into the person that you need to be and that you want to be. And so, basically, I got connected with this guy. He's actually only a few years younger than me. He apparently wanted some advice on the VA loan because I've used the VA loan a couple of times. I sort of have a couple of rental properties, and I've managed roommates when I was in the military. I'd have roommates in the house with me, and try to make a couple extra bucks that way. And so I definitely learned a thing or two about like buying and selling houses and how to manage roommates, etc. So I guess this guy, was referred to me because that's something he was interested in doing. And so, this guy texts me and he's like, so basically he says it's like 2 weeks until he's leaving for the Navy, and he wants to know about the VA loan, and I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, you're about to go to basic training, you can't buy a house right now, and you can't even use the VA loan like for a while. So what are you talking about? And so come to find out, like, this dude hasn't taken the ASVAB. He hasn't signed anything. Like, it sounds like he's had maybe one phone call with a recruiter, basically. And he's saying that what he meant, I guess, is in 2 weeks he's going to the office to talk to the recruiter. So I'm like, dude, you have a long road before you even ship off to go to the military. And then once you do that, then you have to get through basic training. You got to get through your tech school, and you're joining the Navy and the job that he says he wants. I'm like, you're going to be put on a submarine or a ship, so you're not buying a house from there. So what do you, like, you're thinking about a position that you're going to be in like 3 or 4 years from now, and it sounds like you're not even prepared for the situation that you're in. And also, come to find out, this kid, he's like 22, 23, something like that, and he doesn't even have his driver's license yet. And so I was trying to help him, and I said, I listed off some different stuff. I was like, look, here are the things, because he was like, I just want to understand more about the, buying homes and using the VA loan now to be prepared so that I can succeed and, like, so that I can focus on my career, whatever. So he wants to be successful, so that's good. And really, I think he's just confused about what the focus needs to be, probably from, some Grant Cardone video or something like that. Nothing against Grant Cardone, but, it's like, if you haven't done anything in life, then you don't need to be thinking about, like, buying an apartment complex. That's probably not the starting line for you. So I say, hey, learn about budgeting. Learn how to build a budget, and then build one, and then live by that, forever, starting now, for the rest of your life. Live by a budget, and learn what credit is. How do you build credit? What do you need credit for? Like, what is it? Why do people care about it? How do you gamify that? I also told him, learn about investing, like different types of investments you can have. What is a retirement account? What is an IRA? What does dollar cost averaging mean? Basically, it's like, if you spend the time now, since you're interested in these things, and you learn those things, those are the things that most people needed to learn before they started to buy a house, military or not. And those are the types of things, like, if you start to learn those things, the basics, like the financial basics, and you really focus on them and you master those things, then you'll be able to buy a house, or buy an apartment building in the future, or whatever, and be successful. But if you don't even understand the basics, then there's just no way you're going to be successful, or, like, you might not even be able to buy a house, and if you do, you might just get screwed. You might lose money. So there's just so many things, to figure out and learn. And that's really the key thing. It's not bad that there's a lot of things to learn. It's a good thing. That means that there's tons of room for growth, because you need to learn and master all these things, and you're going to become more than you are now. You're going to be a different person who is more well-informed and better prepared to take on the world. And if you feel like, anxiety in life about not being prepared to be successful, that is probably just an indication of the fact that you're not prepared to be successful. But the good thing is there is a wealth of knowledge on YouTube and other avenues, like free knowledge, free information for you to absorb and to put into practice, and to become very competent at these things. And as you become competent in these different areas, your anxiety will go down, and I would think eventually go away. You can master these things, you can grow. But as I'm saying these things to this kid, he is saying, he's like, oh yeah, like I've heard of that, and I'm already on top of it. I know how bad things can get, and I'm working already, and I have other plans, and blah blah. And so it's like everything that I'm trying to suggest to him, these basic things, I'm like, hey, look this up and learn this. This will help you. You wanted advice. You came to me for advice. This is my advice. And he's like, and he can't hear it, because he just needs to keep defending himself that he's already like super smart in all these ways, which he's obviously, like, if you're 23 and you don't have your driver's license, and you don't, it's like he like has essentially done nothing, it seems like, in life, then you don't know these things. You haven't practiced them, or you wouldn't be here in this situation. And so it seems to me like, I don't know what exactly he reached out to me for, but I think he wanted, praise and like validation for his motivation, and he's confusing his motivation for effort. And so he thinks like, oh, I'm going to talk to these people. This is, probably subconscious, but it's like he wants approval. And I didn't give him approval, because I'm like, you haven't done anything, and there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn, you need to know. And that's good, go out and learn that stuff, but he won't hear it, because he is too insecure, and that's the ego that I'm talking about. His ego won't allow him to perceive these blind spots that he has, even when somebody is telling it straight to his face. And so you can't grow. You can't grow and learn if you're in that situation. And so really, I think like the first step for somebody to start growing and learning is to be able to say, like, if that's you and you want to improve, you need to literally say out loud to yourself, like, I am not who I want to be. I'm not as good as I could be, and I need to grow. I need to figure out all the things that I suck at, and then I need to improve in those areas. And if you can't do that, if you can't admit that you are ignorant and uneducated and inexperienced, and that a lot of people have a lot more expertise than you, and they've done it a lot more than you have, if you can't admit that, just give up. Like you're not gonna improve and learn. So yeah, that's pretty much the video for today. The ego will hold you back. Don't let it. Resist that. Be humble. Stay focused. Praise God. Thanks for tuning in.